Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs in video games, and today I'm playing Slay the Spire. This time on Slay the Spire, I will be playing my Skinny Deck Challenge. The rules are that we can have a maximum of 12 cards in our deck, not go above 12. The starting deck for most characters is 10 cards, so that means we've got a leeway of 2 cards at the beginning until we can remove cards. So removal is important here. My personal best with this challenge is Ascension 3 with the Defect. I think that is very beatable, so I'm going to try to crush it today. Let's try. So I'm going to be playing as the Watcher, and I'm going to rack it up all the way to level 6, to Ascension 6, trying to crush that personal best. We start each run damaged, and we heal less after boss battles, and then bosses, normal enemies, and elites are deadlier. Alright, let's get started. So, I actually really like Transform 2 cards because it kind of removes 2 cards. Obtaining a Curse 2 is kind of annoying though, because that does fill up one of our slots, and we will want to remove that card. So it kind of removes 2 cards and adds 1. It might not be great. I always like losing my starting relic with the Watcher. I honestly don't like pure water very much. So if we lose our starting relic, obtain a random boss relic, I think that could be very good. I don't think there are any boss relics that just give you cards. Yeah, the only one I can think of is Tiny House, which even then you have a choice of taking the card or not. I guess Curse of the Bell gives you a curse, so that does give you a card that you can't get rid of. I'm certainly not going to choose a card to obtain. One card choice is not great when we don't get to get that many card choices. There's nothing that gives me gold here, which is unfortunate because I would like the gold so that we could remove cards reliably at a shop. Speaking of, there's 3 shops right here. We might not be able to afford removing cards at all 3 shops, but that's kind of nice to get 3 shops that we could go to and hopefully remove cards. Hello, Eleanor. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing quite fine. Thank you. So I'm definitely not going to choose a card to obtain. I think I've convinced myself that obtaining a curse is just too bad for Transform 2 cards. So it's either a random common relic or a random boss relic. Lose this relic. Let's lose our starting relic. Get a random boss relic. We got Astrolabe. Ho, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Alright, what do we want to lose? We definitely want to lose a Defend. I think I'm going to do Defend, Defend, Strike. So we're going to remove those, will be replaced with random cards, and those 3 random cards will be upgraded. What did we get? Conjure Blade. That's a weird one. And then Nirvana does nothing in our deck so far, and Perseverance is fine. Alright, not a great start, honestly. The Conjure Blade is a lot better with a smaller deck, at least, but Conjure Blade is not my favorite for sure. I think we got very unlucky there, especially for the first couple battles. This improved the Defend, definitely. This is worthless, and this one's kind of weird. So, let's get started. What a crazy start. I am going to go towards that because we do need to remove more cards. I'm thinking about playing Conjure Blade. We could play Vigilance Conjure Blade. I think that's quite nice. Conjure Blade is guaranteed to... The Expunger from Conjure Blade is guaranteed to kill one of them, and the only way that we take less damage is if we can kill one of them and not end up in Wrath, which I don't know that we can. So let's do Vigilance, Conjure Blade. Hello, Gale. Welcome to the stream. Alright, there's that Nirvana. Nirvana is awful in this deck. The Expunger can kill this one. So we're not getting damaged, which means Nirvana is fine to play. Just get it out of the deck. And then we don't win with strikes because we are weakened. So let's just wait for Conjure Blade to come back. Or Expunger, I mean. Okay. We can add a card to the deck. Remember, we can only have 12, but Cut Through Fate is excellent. Not only is Cut Through Fate an excellent card, it also makes Nirvana actually useful. Kind of makes Conjure Blade more useful too. Let's get a Cut Through Fate. Alright. So now we've got 11 cards. We can only have a max of 12, which means we should be very picky about what we get next into our deck. I kind of want to play Eruption Strike here. Yeah, let's play Eruption Strike. So Eruption here, Strike here. And in theory, we win this next turn. And the theory was true. We could get another Cut Through Fate. Technically, that's good. Technically, that is good. It means that we could no longer add cards, but we would have 2 Cut Through Fates with a Nirvana plus in the deck. I do not hate it. I do not hate it. Let's take another Cut Through Fate. Alright. We've got our 12 cards. We cannot get any more cards, but we do get to remove one quite soon. And we get to remove one here. Wonderful. So let's remove a card. What card do we remove? Surely removing a strike is useful. Removing a defend is also kind of useful. Let's remove a defend. I want to remove strikes after this probably, though. Alright, we certainly don't want regret. And we're not too hurt, so let's take the donut. And we are definitely going to remove a card here. The question is what else we do. It looks like we'll probably do nothing. Yeah. We kind of need the gold so that we can remove more cards in the future, and none of the cards that we can buy just immediately stand out to me. Inner Peace is nice, but I don't think anything is good enough that I'm going to take it so that we can't take 2 future cards. And not being able to remove cards because we don't have the money later. So, I said we would remove a strike. Let's do that. Alright, we're down to 10 cards again, which means we can take 2 more. I probably want to Smith Eruption. Probably. It's normally what you want to smith early on in a Watcher run. The only reason not to smith Eruption is if I think we can get a better Wrath entry very soon. Kinda don't think we can depend on that, so let's smith Eruption. Alright. First Elite. The first Elite is a Lagavulin. Not too bad, honestly. We get to keep the Perseverance in our hand a couple turns. I like that. We also get to make a giant Conjure Blade. That's good too. So just play Vigilance this turn. We can actually play Cut Through Fate and discard a couple cards. I don't see the value in that. Let's not do that. So, I'm choosing to play Conjure Blade over Nirvana, because getting a better Expunger in the deck is probably better than playing Nirvana immediately. And this next turn, we have to wake up the Lagavulin. It's going to wake up anyway. Perfect time to wake it up when we've got Eruption Expunger. How nice. Eruption, Expunger. Let's play a Cut Through Fate. We don't care about either of those, but let's draw the Nirvana. And then I think a Strike and a Cut Through Fate wins. Alright, great. We immediately killed it upon waking it up. Strawberry, fine. Strawberries are okay. Do we care about any of these? I don't think I care about Deus Ex Machina. I don't think I care about it. It certainly makes the Expunger pretty interesting. So let me think about that. Deus Ex Machina with Expunger. Do we actually like that? I'm very incentivized to try it because these are two cards that I almost never play with, and it would be quite interesting to have a run where we play with a couple cards that I never play with. On the other hand, Prostrate. Prostrate is quite good, especially in a deck that has two Cut-Through Fates. We could very easily get into a deck that goes into Divinity with a giant Expunger. And, you know, that's nice. I think I am going to take one of those two cards. I don't think I'm going to skip. So what am I doing? Let's go crazy. Let's take Deus Ex Machina. That's such a weird one for me. So we're certainly smithing a card. Smithing Deus Ex Machina gives us 3 miracles, which is a lot more. That's 1 extra Ember, basically. Other than that, it would really be a Cut Through Fate upgrade. Let's take Deus Ex Machina. Alright, we have gone down a deck that I've almost never built, the Conjure Blade deck. Let's do a Conjure Blade deck. How silly. Art of War. You know? That's not terrible. The turn that we play Conjure Blade, we usually don't play anything else. It's definitely not bad. Let's take Art of War. Every time we do not play an attack during my turn, I gain an additional energy next turn. Can be quite nice. And we're still at the normal basic enemies. How about that? I think we do want to play Conjure Blade. Let's play Conjure Blade. So in order to not get damaged, we either need to play... Actually... What do we do to not get damaged? Let's see here. We need to play Perseverance in order to not get damaged, I think. Playing Nirvana is nice and all, but I think we need to play this. I'm not going to play it until after we play Cut Through Fate. The real question is, do we play Nirvana Plus first? And which one of those do I take? I guess we take Expunger and discard Deus Ex Machina? Sure. So let's do that. Discard Deus Ex Machina. We get the Expunger. This does 36 damage. And then now that we saw how much damage that did, we don't need to play any blocking cards. Alright. Expunger for victory. So Signature Move is definitely not a card for this deck. And neither is Protect or Consecrate. So we skip. Which is good. We've got 11 cards. We need to keep places for cards in our deck. Ooh. The medical kit is a lot better when you have a small deck. If I take the medical kit, I don't get to remove a card. So medical kit, it allows you to play unplayable status cards and exhaust them when you do. Small decks really suffer from enemies that add status cards into your deck. It's one of the reasons why just building the smallest deck possible is not always the best in Slay the Spire. So Medical Kit can really help with this particular challenge. Is that good enough for me to take it over removing a card? I think it is, because we're going to go to more shops. Removing a card already cost 100. Let's take the Medical Kit. Also, by the way, if we had taken Prostrate before, Pray might have been amazing. That could have gotten us into Divinity quite easily. Let's take Medical Kit. Medical Kit is one of my favorite relics, honestly. It's such a small effect, but I really like the effect. The Looter. We certainly want to keep our money. We got 3 miracles from our... what is that card even called? Deus Ex Machina? Deus Ex Machina gave us 3 miracles. We're certainly going to play all 3 of them, because we have Conjure Blade. The real question is, do we block? And I think we do. We block, and then we play Conjure Blade. 9 times 5. So that almost kills the Looter on its own. And it really does if we play Eruption first. So 18 times 5. Looter dead. Una I don't know how to say your name, sorry. Una Verdura, welcome. So is this a card game roguelike? Yes, it is. As Gale says. Not only is it a card game roguelike, it is the card game roguelike. This is pretty well known as the most popular, if also not the best, card game roguelike. I have another chance at Indignation. I meant to say Prostrate. I have another chance at Prostrate. I'm not going to take it at this point, but I might take Indignation. It's another Wrath entry, but I don't particularly like it. Pressure Points would be a terrible pick. Let's skip. Alright, we are certainly going to this Elite. I'd rather go to Elite than question mark normal enemy, even though this shop is going to be not great, since we have pretty much no money. Gremlin Knob seems not bad for us. Oh, Gale, if Pressure Points had been one of the first cards that I could have picked, I might have taken it. Because I absolutely love Pressure Points decks, even if they're usually actually not great. I love them, though. So, we're already in Wrath stance. Drawing that Conjure Blade is really not helpful. I mean, it would give me an Expunger that does 1/9. Actually, that's not terrible. Let's discard the Deus Ex Machina, though. This is a terrible battle for that. And let's play the Expunger. We get an Expunger with only 1 times on it. Alright, 32 damage coming in. But can we just win? That's the question. Certainly, Cut Through Fate does a lot of damage. The Expunger does 18. I think we win. We definitely win with all those miracles, but we did not actually need them to win. The Expunger does it just in time. Alright, we got a Horn Cleat. Pretty good relic. At the start of your second turn, gain 14 block. In my opinion, the second turn is the best turn to gain random block. So I like the Horn Cleat. Speed Potion, not my favorite potion. So Empty Fist is a pretty excellent card. Devotion, again, clearly we could have gone a mantra heavy deck. If we had known, we might have gone Mantra heavy, but we did not know. We could take Empty Fist. Empty Fist is fine. Normally I would call it good. But I think what I'd rather do is keep a slot open in my deck, because we can only have 12, and we already have 11. I'm gonna keep a slot open for after we fight the boss. Maybe we will want one of those rare cards more. So we can actually afford a potion here. And we could afford Bowling Bash, which I've said before, Bowling Bash solves one of the problems that I have with the Watcher, the multi-enemy fights. Normally the Watcher has a problem with. But I don't think I'm going to take Bowling Bash. Same reason I did not take the Empty Fist. I want to keep a slot open for that rare card. Do I want any of these potions? The Bottled Miracle is kind of interesting with Expunger, but I think the answer is no. Let's skip these. Save our money for removing cards in the future. And we do get to Smith again. The ones that I want to keep most in the deck are the Cut Through Fates. I mean, we probably want to keep Vigilance in the deck too, but let's upgrade Cut Through Fates some more. Alright, I feel like we have no trouble with the Hexaghost. No trouble at all. Let's play Cut Through Fate first, because if we draw Conjure Blade this turn, we might play it. We are actually going to draw Conjure Blade this turn. So I guess we're going to draw those and play the Conjure Blade. Alright, let's get a 9x6 attack in our deck. And we might have some trouble blocking next turn. Luckily, we did have the Horn Cleat to help us block. I want to play Perseverance, I want to play Vigilance, I want to play Expunger. I think we've got to play the Expunger every time we draw it. So let's play Vigilance Expunger. And yes, the reason this reminds you of Inscription is because Inscription was partially inspired by this game. Alright, we've got Eruption Expunger, which I feel like we can't say no to. Eruption Expunger does how much damage? 18x6. Alright. And then we play probably Nirvana, Perseverance, and Cut Through Fate. Play the Nirvana first, of course, before playing Cut Through Fate. And as much as I would like that Cut Through Fate next turn, we're not going to draw it next turn. What's in my deck? My deck has these. I actually don't like any of those, so we're going to discard both of these so that we draw one of those for next turn. Let's get back to our Expunger very quickly. So, because of our medical kit, we can just get rid of this burn. Burn gone. And because of our Cut Through Fates, we can definitely play Expunger this turn. Oh, it's right at the top. Great. Win. It's a pretty fast battle. The Expunger deck at least kills things quickly, if also taking damage while doing so. I kind of like Judgment, honestly. Although, Omniscience, what does it work with? It doesn't really work with Conjure Blade, is the thing. Because when you play Omniscience, it costs you 4 to play it, and then the Conjure Blade procs for 0, basically. Yeah. As much as I like Omniscience usually, if you don't have a card in your deck that you want to play and exhaust, play that card twice and exhaust it, it's not that great. So I guess we're not going to play Omniscience. I do really like Judgment, though. Judgment solves very particular battles really well. So I don't think that Omniscience works with Deus Ex Machina, because Deus Ex Machina is unplayable. So I don't think playing the chosen card twice actually does anything when the chosen card can't be played. I don't know for certain, but I think that's how the rules work. I'm going to take Judgment. I'm sure there are those out there that really think that Judgment is not the card you want to add in your 12-card deck, but I like Judgment. We certainly want something that gives us more energy, which is not Tiny House. Tiny House gives us a lot of random things. The fact that we could not obtain one of the card from Tiny House makes Tiny House significantly worse. So Slaver's Collar works in boss and elite combats. Sozu works in all combats, but we no longer gain potions, which is a definite downside. I think we're going to take Slaver's Collar, because I do like my potions. Gale says, Judgment solves those fluffy armored things real fast. I think by fluffy armored things you mean spherical guardians, and yes it does. So we certainly want to prioritize elite combats, and it looks like we can do that. We can go to 4 elite combats in this act. That's really nice, and I do want to go to question marks because question marks give me a greater chance to remove cards from my deck, which we do want. Since we have a 12-card deck right now, we can't really take any cards, which means these normal enemies the normal combats are real bad for us. And even the elite combats don't give us as much as they normally do, because we cannot take cards right now. Well, Judgment is not terrible here. I think this is a good time to play a block potion or a speed potion. Let's play the block potion. Block potion solves the current problem. It means we've got an open slot for potions, which is good. Judgment is not good. I don't know why I said Judgment was something we would do. Conjure Blade is what we're doing. Conjure Blade for 9 times 4. That also gives us an extra energy next turn due to Art of War, which is good. So we do have a Cut Through Fate. The Cut Through Fate is guaranteed to be able to draw Expunger, which does 9 times 4 damage, which is 36 damage. Eruption would double that damage, which means Expunger would do 72 damage. Notice how that's very close to the Sheld's Parasite's health. So let's do Eruption, Cut Through Fate, get ourselves an Expunger, and win. Wonderful. Alright, we can't take any of these cards. Don't look at the cards. We can't take them. The Chosen. Only the Chosen wasn't attacking me turn 1. It would be nice. But unfortunately, the Chosen is attacking me turn 1. Do I use this opportunity to get rid of my speed potion? Sure. It's an opportunity to get rid of a speed potion for some amount of value. So there's our Expunger. We're definitely going to play Expunger. So let's play that. And then I see no reason to play Strike over Nirvana and Vigilance. So let's play Nirvana and Vigilance. We do get those miracles for the future. play Cut Through Fate. Cut Through Fate first. That gives me an Eruption. And I get to discard these 2 cards, which means after we play Eruption, we can play Cut Through Fate and draw an Expunger, which we get to play and destroy the Chosen. And there's a new potion to replace the one that we spent. Can't take cards, don't look at the cards. We can obtain a relic, so we can't actually do this. We cannot open the coffin because there's a 50% chance that we would get a curse, which would invalidate the run. So we're not going to take that. There are some times where you're forced to take a curse, and I'm not going to invalidate the run if I'm forced to add a card to my deck, but I will have it disqualified if I choose to add a card to the deck when I'm already at 12. So we're just going to leave. Ho-ho, the Purifier. Excellent event. Remove a card from the deck. At this point, I think the strikes are doing pretty much nothing. So let's remove a strike. That means we can once again add cards to the deck. Alright, multi-enemy fight. I think we can defeat one of them this turn if I play Eruption, Strike, and Judgment. Is that right? No, because the Judgment is not... it's not upgraded. Hold on. 12 plus 9 is 21. I could kill exactly this one. Exactly that one. Let's do it. So, Eruption, Strike, Judgment. This enemy has exactly 30 health, so it has been judged. Also, one of my favorite animations in the game is Judgment. Do I play a Miracle Nirvana? I think I do. I think this battle will take a little bit more time than the normal battle. We would like to play Expunger, but we would also like to not take damage. How do we do that the best? We could play Conjure Blade, and then Miracle, Cut Through Fate, draw the Conjure Blade. So that's quite interesting. If we play the Conjure Blade plus right now, it would deal 9 times 4. 9 times 4 is normally 36, but it's going to do twice that because we're in Wrath. So let's play Conjure Blade plus, then use the Miracle to gain energy again, and then play a Cut Through Fate. I guess we're going to Cut Through Fate on this one because we're going to kill that one with the Expunger. So, Expunger, need the other Miracle. Expunger, kill this cultist. Great. And Expunger, kill that cultist. Very nice. The Conjure Blade deck is going. And we can actually add a card if we want. Meditate is a pretty nice card. It even has a plus on it, currently. If we add it to the deck, we don't get to add any of the cards that we get from the Elite battles. But Meditate Plus... how good is it in a deck that is 12 cards or less? I don't know. It's a way to exit Wrath, and it's a way to enter Calm. Both of those are kind of good things. Let's take the Meditate Plus. I'm finding myself having trouble staying at 11 cards, which in my mind I'm thinking that staying at 11 cards is good, and I'm having trouble actually doing it. I want to play the Cut Through Fate. Let's play Nirvana Cut Through Fate. And the real question is, are we cutting through Fate the Fat Gremlin? I want to, of course. Let's do it. We might play this explosive potion. The Eruption Plus doesn't kill anything. The Eruption Plus doesn't kill anything. I don't think either of these cards are what we want. Let's skip both of them. We got another Cut Through Fate. You know, it's kind of weird to do that again. But we could definitely get the Strike or the Judgment. Or we could get Conjure Blade. I'm going to be sad, but we're going to discard Conjure Blade. And prefer Strike, actually. Feel really weird about that, but let's do it. Next turn we get Judgment, so we get to kill that one. And we did get Conjure Blade as well. There we go. So, Miracle, 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 Conjure Blade for 7. 9 times 7. That defeats enemies quickly. The Eruption is the only thing in our deck, so if we play Cut Through Fate, we draw that for certain. So let's do that. How much does the Expunger do? 9 times 7. 9 times 7 damage is 63. 63 times 2 is 126. So we only need to deal 20 damage to the Gremlin Leader to win this turn. We can do that. Expunger. And Strike. Alright, our deck can dish out some damage. Strike Dummy. Strike Dummy is not going to be great for us. Cards containing the word Strike deal additional damage. That affects the one card named Strike in our deck. It's not great. And another Speed Potion, not the potion I would choose. We can't actually take cards, we should not look at them. Alright, let's Smith. And I think we want to Smith either Judgment or Cut Through Fate. I think Judgment, Judgment is a very nice Smith. It basically does 10 more damage. For, certain definitions of damage. The Book of Stabbing. The main problem with the Book of Stabbing is there's never a good time to play Conjure Blade. Which is annoying. I can play Eruption this turn, and then end this turn with a Meditate. So let's start with Eruption, then Cut Through Fate. So we can draw the Deus Ex Machina this turn, get the Miracles this turn, draw Conjure Blade next turn. That's the turn where we will have Horn Cleat active. So I think that's perfect for us. So let's play the Defend and the Meditate. We are going to take damage here. And what we're going to get back is Eruption and Cut Through Fate. What does the Eruption do for us? Does the Eruption do anything for us? I don't know, but we're going to get back Cut Through Fate and Eruption. Certainly not getting back Defend. Okay, the main thing that we want to play is Conjure Blade. Do we play Conjure Blade for 8 and take 7 more damage? Or do we block a little bit? I think we take 7 more damage. Play the Conjure Blade for 8. It's the only card in our deck, so we're guaranteed to draw it next turn. And at this point, we certainly have to win quickly, especially because we have all these wounds in our deck. We can get rid of them, but we still have to draw them, which is the downside. I'm thinking about Eruption Expunger. So 9 times 8. 9 times 8 is a large number, 72. That wins, doesn't it? Great, so we can dish out damage. We just take some damage sometimes. Mercury Hourglass deals 3 damage to all enemies at the start of each turn. It's fine. It at least does something, whereas Strike Dummy doesn't often. Block Potion, I think, is usually better than Speed Potion, so let's discard our Speed Potion, get a Block Potion. And we can't take cards, so let's not look at them. Having trouble not looking at the cards? Matryoshka. Matryoshka is pretty bad. The next 2 non-boss chests you open contain 2 relics. We're only really guaranteed to get 1 more non-boss chest, which means this is kind of like you get 1 relic, but you get it late. So I'm really thinking about taking the Sapphire Key instead here. The Matryoshka just doesn't do anything right now, and it's not likely to do much. So let's take the Sapphire Key. Which means we might be going into Act 4. I mean, we're also fighting a Burning Elite. Both of those things really help us go to Act 4. Certainly want to play Cut Through Fate. Let's start with a Cut Through Fate. I mean, we could draw Nirvana and play it. That's fine. It's probably better than not playing the Nirvana this battle. So let's play the Nirvana, play the other Cut Through Fate. And then I guess we draw Judgment, because there's no reason to draw Judgment next turn. And this turn we can kill this one with it. Alright, that was a turn. You're attacking me on turn 2. It's not my favorite time for you to be attacking me, but it also isn't too bad because of the Horn Cleat. I'm thinking about using my Block Potion and just playing a really big Conjure Blade. Let's do that. So Block Potion to block some of that, and then play a big Conjure Blade. And then at this point, we basically just win with Expunger. Let's play the Expunger and then play Cut Through Fate. Because we can discard this, redraw, and draw another Expunger. How about that? We have enough that we could play Cut Through Fate Eruption Expunger. So we're going to play Cut Through Fate first, in hopes to find Eruption, which we did, which means Expunger wins. Great. We got Meat on the Bone. Do like this one. Every time our HP is at or below 50%, at the end of combat, heal 12. Passive healing. All you have to do is get hurt, and then you get passive healing. Can't take those cards, even though I would love to have at least one of those in my deck. So the main thing I'm thinking of in this shop is card remove. For one, we can't take any of the cards, unless we also take card remove. However, would we like one of these? Whenever you shuffle your draw pile, scry 3. It's not bad, actually. Especially with the small deck, that's not bad. Pen Nib could be absolutely amazing if we can time it with the Expunger. I can't afford both of those. I could afford either of them with a card remove. Let's do a card remove. I think the Strike is the worst in our deck right now. That does mean our Strike Dummy does nothing, but didn't like the Strike Dummy to begin with. And I am really thinking about this one. Some good old spices for our run. Whenever we shuffle our draw pile scry 3, that means we get to choose what we draw a little bit. And it means that if we have our power out, we gain 4 block every time we shuffle our draw pile, which is pretty nice, especially with two cut through fates in the deck. That could be really nice. This is kind of like a block solution. And we kind of have a damage solution already. I don't think we need the pen nib. Maybe we should take this one for a block solution. Let's do it. It's a weird block solution, but it is a block solution, in my opinion. Alright, we found the thing that Gale called the fluffy armored thing, the Spire Guardian, and we can easily kill it with a judgment. We can also kill this one with a judgment, for that matter. Not that we're going to do that this turn. But Spire Guardian gone. Gale is absolutely right. We didn't need the pen nib, but we certainly wanted it. So I probably could have won this turn, but I'd rather win with an expunger. So let's create our expunger. And then I could win with the expunger, but you know what I would rather do? I would rather win with an eruption and then an expunger. So much wasted damage. We could actually take a card, but these are not the cards that I'm going to take. We've got an 11 card deck. I like our 11 card deck. Another Book of Stabbing. Drawing the Conjure Blade turn 1 is significantly worse than drawing it turn 2. Especially since we have not drawn something to give us more Ember. I'm kind of thinking we play Nirvana Cut Through Fate. Let's play Nirvana Cut Through Fate. And then draw the Perseverance, play the Vigilance. I don't like it, but I'd rather play that Conjure Blade for a lot more. Hopefully on this turn. Okay, so we did just shuffle our deck, which means we got to see that Conjure Blade is on top, which is exactly where we want it. Because we have a Cut Through Fate, which means we can draw it. So there's a Cut Through Fate. The Cut Through Fate will also scry, which will give us enough block. And, I mean, I don't want to draw that wound, even though we can get rid of it. Let's not draw it in the first place. Alright, Conjure Blade for 7. Now we've got a 9x7 attack in the deck. So we see Eruption on top. We've got a Cut Through Fate, and we've got a 9x7 Expunger. So it looks like we can win this turn. If we play Cut Through Fate, draw the Eruption, play Expunger, we win. I think we took 2 damage in that fight. It's pretty good. And then the Jirya, we can now gain strength at rest sites, which might be good for us because we are pretty close to upgrading all of the cards we care to upgrade in our deck. So it gives us something else to do at rest sites. Strength also works really well with Expunger. For that matter, we want the Strength Potion. Probably more than a Dexterity Potion, if we're being honest with ourselves. And I certainly don't want another Meditate. I don't think we need Flurry of Blows. Don't think I want the Halt either. The cards... So Una asks, the cards that appear in the shop are and as rewards are based on the character you are using? Yes. Actually, the fact that the cards have a purple border is because we are playing as the purple character. So the Watcher is the purple character, the fourth character. All the cards that have a purple border are Watcher cards specifically. So our entire deck is Watcher cards. In this shop, you'll see mostly Watcher cards, and you'll see 2 cards that have gray borders, which are common cards that you can add with any character. The Snecko. So Snecko is going to confuse me. Don't think we like being confused very much. Let's play Cut Through Fate first, of course. And then I think we get the Conjure Blade right now. Use all of the miracles and use Conjure Blade. Sure. The Snecko fight might be a little bit strange, though. Luckily, we have the Perseverance in our hand. Well, this is not a great hand. I think we should play Expunger. The Nirvana costing 3 is kind of bad. The fact that Judgment costs 0 is kind of pointless. Let's play the Cut Through Fate first, I think. Because we're going to play Expunger, which means we cannot afford Vigilance. So this one is from the Melange. Melange? I don't know how to say that word. We could draw one of these, but it doesn't actually... Oh, we can't draw one of these, actually. We could draw it with the Cut Through Fate, but we don't know how much it will cost. I think we have to go with our original plan to play Expunger. Expunger... And... Oh, the Judgment. I could have played the Judgment and won that turn. That was very silly that I did not play that. Whoops. Yep, Gale called it out. Should have played Expunger into Judgment. I did not realize how much damage I was going to do. I think this turn we play Vigilance, Eruption, Perseverance, end in Wrath, and fully block. And then we guarantee win next turn, because we've got the Judgment. Alright, we took 4 more damage than we should have, because I did not play that correctly. So we're keeping the Strength Potion. Do I get rid of an Explosive Potion or a Liquid Bronze? I think the Explosive Potion is getting much worse. Let's take the Liquid Memories instead. We could take Fear No Evil. Fear No Evil is not bad. Fear No Evil is not bad. Do we hold out for a rare card from the boss? Which rare cards would be specifically better than a Fear No Evil Plus? There's not many. The nice thing about Fear No Evil is that it enters Calm. We do kind of already have 2 ways to enter Calm, though. I'm going to hold out. I think our 11 card deck is doing quite well. I'm sure the Fear No Evil makes it better, but I don't know that it makes it a lot better. So I'm going to hold out and not take the Fear No Evil right now. Do we lift or do we smith? We could smith the Cut Through Fate. That would make it have Scry 3 on it, which is quite nice. We could smith the Vigilance, which is one of the only cards we want to keep having in the deck. That is not smith. I think we smith this time. Smith that Cut Through Fate. The Collector. The Collector does not have enough health for us to not get through it quickly. The problem with the Collector is he does a lot of damage. So a Cut Through Fate. We get a Conjure Blade very early. I do like that. Let's do this. Let's take this opportunity to do the Conjure Blade. It won't be for as big of a number as we've gotten used to, but it's still a time to do Conjure Blade. Do I like the Eruption Vigilance for next turn? I don't know how much I like the Eruption Vigilance for next turn. But which one do we get rid of? The Eruption would mean the Conjure Blade would probably take one out. Let's get rid of both of them, actually. So Conjure Blade this turn. We didn't get to play Nirvana this time through our deck, which really reduces how much block we're going to produce. What do we want for next turn? I'm kind of thinking we don't want any of those again for next turn. So the Expunger does 36, which is exactly enough to kill one of these. Kill one of those. The Judgment also kills one. Okay, good so far. Let's do... I kind of don't want to do Cut Through Fate because I want to play the Nirvana next turn. So let's not play Cut Through Fate. Do I play Perseverance? I think we do play Perseverance. So this turn we're going to play Nirvana. We don't need the... Actually, we do want the Judgment on top because he's summoning more guys. So we don't need these two. Wait a minute, are you summoning more guys? Might be thinking about that incorrectly. Anyway, let's play the Expunger. And draw these cards. Let's play the Meditate this turn. So we can meditate and decide exactly what we want in our hand. We want an Expunger and a Judgment in our hand next turn. So we can kill those two guys immediately. Still don't care for the Vigilance. I do like Cut Through Fates all the time. So, the Judgment kills this one, the Expunger kills that one. Or we could play Eruption and both Cut Through Fates. I like that better. Cut Through Fate draws Cut Through Fate. And then we play the Expunger, so it's in our discard pile. So when we play this Cut Through Fate, we very likely will draw the Expunger soon. Actually, that turn kills our enemy next turn, I think. I think it does. Let's keep all of those in our hand for next turn. And then Eruption. So do we just win this turn? That's the real question. Don't think we need either of those. I'll take the Eruption though. So the Expunger does a lot of damage. Not enough to put you under 40, but this does. So we win. The Collector has been judged. I'm judging other collectors now. It's a slippery slope. So, all of these are kind of interesting. So, Master Reality. If we play Master Reality before playing Conjure Blade, we get an Expunger Plus. It also works with Deus Ex Machina. The 3 miracles that get added would be Miracle Pluses. However, we would have to play it before those cards, which is the main problem. Deva Form gives us a whole lot of energy, which could be amazing as long as we can continue to cycle through our deck over and over and over again. I don't know if we're able to do that with only two cut-through fates. But the fact that we also have this, which allows us to scry every time we shuffle our draw pile, we might be able to have a turn just go on and on and on due to cut-through fates. Just play cut-through fate over and over and over again. And then the Vault is always a good card. It's hard to imagine where Vault is not a good card. So all 3 of these are quite interesting. I think I've got to go with Deva Form for the potential interest for long battles. And because as much as I like Master Reality, it's too conditional on us getting it before one of the 2 cards that it affects. So Deva Form, welcome to the deck. We want more energy. Ooh, we kind of can't take the Cursed Key. Because if we take the Cursed Key, we can't open the non-boss chest because it would give us a curse. And we already have 12 cards. So we kind of can't take Cursed Key, which is bad because we can't get more energy. The Empty Cage does not give us energy. The Sacred Bark does not give us energy. Both are quite nice in their own way, though. I'm definitely thinking about Empty Cage. We could kind of go mad and take out both the Defend and the Vigilance. Rely on Meditate as our way to get out of Wrath, and the Nirvana as the way to block. You know, it's a little questionable. But it would give us 2 space to add more cards. And I've noticed we have not played the Vigilance or the Defend hardly at all. There are also the non-upgraded cards in our deck. I guess Deva Form is not upgraded. You know, I'm gonna go crazy. Let's take Empty Cage and remove both of our block cards. We're going crazy. I certainly want a shop, and I certainly want elite battles. Fireplaces are good too because we want to gain the strength. So I'm thinking about which we go of these 3. I don't think we go this path. This path is not very interesting to me. It doesn't have the shop, and I do want the shop. I mean, we can go to several shops over here. So I think we're going to start here, and we'll decide what we do after a couple of battles. I have considered one of the potential challenges I've considered is a challenge in which you play as the Watcher and you have to go into Wrath and you cannot go out of Wrath every time. Just pure Wrath all the time. And the only reason I really haven't done it is because you can't do that with any other character. So it's not as interesting to me if you can only do it with one character. Anyway, this turn is a little bit of a problem. I'm thinking about what we do with Judgment, because there's a couple paths we can go down. We could play Perseverance, and we can't actually get him down into Judgment range. Okay, so let's play a Cut Through Fate. We're going to play it here, even though we're probably going to judge that one. We really want the Nirvana. And do we judge the Repulsor? The Repulsor is quite terrible for us. But I also kind of want to block. I think we're going to block this turn, so only take 2 damage, hopefully. We get an automatic block next turn. Though we do have to draw those Dazed. So this turn, we don't play Deva Form in this battle. The Conjure Blade is not wonderful in this battle, actually. Wait a minute, do we play the Deva Form and nothing else? I think we play Deva Form. What does Deva Form do for us? Not much. Okay, let's play the Conjure Blade for a lot. Let the Deva Form burn itself out. I mean, we can win this battle with only Mercury Hourglass and Judgment. That is a way to win this battle. And I kind of like this hand next turn, so we're going to keep those cards. We're going to... let me confirm. We're going to use the Expunger to kill you. And then no reason to go into Eruption. No reason to play Perseverance. So there's the Expunger again. How much do we care about Expunger? Let's just keep it. So it's kind of nice that we have this 7-card deck now, because we're redrawing every turn, which means we scry every turn, which means we gain 4 block every turn. But let's judge you. Let's Perseverance and Cut Through Fate. And I'm going to discard the Expunger. We don't actually want the Expunger. We want the Judgment. Confirm. And then judge you. Alright. I think we took 2 damage in that battle. Wasn't too bad. We could take Mental Fortress. We don't change stances a lot, though. We could take Just Lucky, which would block for essentially 7. I don't think I want it. Yeah, I don't think I want it. I want my deck to be small and be able to draw lots of cards because of Deva Form. So 10-card deck so far. Let's keep going with that. We could play the Nirvana and both Cut Through Fates to try to take as little damage as possible here. I am going to do that. We can guarantee draw Eruption next turn. So I think what we do is we guarantee that we draw Eruption next turn. We're going to take Perseverance and Judgment this turn with the 2 Cut Through Fates. We're going to play Perseverance. Actually, we don't need to play the other Cut Through Fate. Let's just play the Conjure Blade. So the plan is Eruption, Conjure Blade next turn. And I meant Eruption, Expunger, of course. So Eruption, Expunger. Took no damage. For a deck that has 1 card that strictly adds block when you play it, this deck is not taking a lot of damage. We have 2 cards with the word block on them. We could get another one, Third Eye. And I'm certainly thinking about it, but I do see another Cut Through Fate. And that works really well with my idea with Deva Form. Let's take another Cut Through Fate. I am going to go to a question mark before the shop. Okay, so I'm awake, upgrades all cards, you can no longer heal. That's terrible. We have exactly 2 non-upgraded cards, and we don't really need to heal very often, but it's nice. We cannot take I Am Rich, because 2 normality would put us over our deck limit of 12. So the only choice here is I Am War, which might be what I would have chosen anyway, but we were forced. Deva Form, Cut Through Fate. How much do I want that Nirvana? I think I really want that Nirvana. Let's do this. Play the Nirvana. Okay, we're taking a lot of damage this turn. However, we can get a fair amount of block this turn, because we've got Cut Through Fates. So, 1 Cut Through Fate draws me a Cut Through Fate and gives me some block. Another Cut Through Fate draws me Eruption for some reason, but it also shuffled my deck, which means we got 4 more block. We also have a Cut Through Fate on top, which is quite nice. We'll keep discarding that one. So we'll play another Cut Through Fate. And then I think we're going to take that Cut Through Fate. Play it. This will scry us once. Oh, both Cut Through Fates are on top. Sad. Alright, so that ends our block train. However, we got 7 times 12, or 7 times 6 is 42. And that is exactly how much block we have. So we're doing perfect in terms of block. Now is the time to play Conjure Blade. Taking no damage there was a puzzle, and I'm glad we did it. Don't need the Meditate. So 1 Cut Through Fate is quite nice. I think we play Eruption, Expunger, Cut Through Fate. We discard this Cut Through Fate and draw a random card, which also allows us to scry again. Find another Expunger. We get to draw that Expunger and play that Expunger. And then Cut Through Fate wins. There we go. Exactly how I want my deck to work. Ooh, Captain's Wheel. On our 3rd turn, we get 18 block. We've got the Horn Cleat, now the Captain's Wheel. Wonderful. I don't think we need Blessing of the Forge. It upgrades cards, which we already have upgraded cards. I have another chance to take Fear No Evil. I will still reject Fear No Evil. I just realized I made a choice that I didn't necessarily intend to make. I see Dolly's Mirror there, which is very interesting. So Dolly's Mirror, you copy a card in your deck, which would mean this would add a card to our deck, we would be at our 12 limit. However, we can choose what to copy, and I kind of like copying Nirvana Plus. If we copy Nirvana Plus, we would have a pretty strong block solution in our deck. It would be a pretty strong block solution. It is kind of annoying that our Act Boss is one that cares about how many powers you play. It gets stronger for every power that we play. So that is a downside to doing Dolly's Mirror on the Nirvana. I don't think I would Dolly's Mirror anything else. As much as I like my upgraded Cut-Through Fates, I think I would rather add another Nirvana Plus to the deck than another Cut-Through Fate. So I'm certainly thinking about that. We don't really need to remove cards anymore. We've got a nice deck. The other real option here is Happy Flower, which gives us energy every 3 turns, which is not bad. I think I'm going to Dolly's Mirror the Nirvana Plus. So we add a card to our deck. We're at our deck limit of 12. I am looking at Entropic Brew because it's quite interesting to have Entropic Brew. It might be better than Liquid Memories for a deck that's as small as we are. Are we going to go to less elites to go to more fireplaces? I think we are. So, sure. Let's take Entropic Brew. I don't think we have much reason to use our money from now on. Oh, falling. Falling is terrible. Oh man. So we could lose the Nirvana Plus that we just bought. We could lose the Deus Ex Machina Plus, which I'm kind of depending on. Or we could lose one of our Cut-Through Fates. Unfortunately, one of the upgraded ones. That hurts. I guess we're going to lose a Cut-Through Fate. It's the easiest thing to add back. But I'm upset by that. Very, very sad to have gotten falling there. We do have to recall at some point if we're going into Act 4, but I think this is the time to lift. We have 1 strength every combat. I just realized a mistake I made a long time ago. So a while ago, I did not take the Cursed Key. I took Empty Cage instead of Cursed Key, and the reason I didn't take Cursed Key is because I thought we had to open a chest, because I did not remember that we already took the blue key. So that was actually a mistake. A long time ago, I made that mistake. I think in this battle we play the Deva form and we play a big Conjure Blade. Next turn we really want block, which we already have some, and we got 2 Nirvanas. 2 Nirvanas and a Cut-Through Fate. That's enough block. The Expunger doesn't do much this turn. Let's discard both of those. Discard the Burn. So we've got a Cut-Through Fate and an Expunger for next turn. That's really nice. We could meditate, but I certainly don't want to. Actually, it's not that bad. Let's meditate. Now, the theory is that we can win this turn. Eruption, Expunger, Cut-Through Fate, and then give me another Expunger, please. There it is. Expunger. Great. We got Incense Burner. Every 6 turns, gain 1 intangible. Very, very good relic. That really works for the end game against the Spire, Shield, and Spear, and the Heart. The Incense Burner can help kind of a lot. And we can take a card. I don't think we want these cards. the 3 jaw worms. Judgment actually kills the one on the left immediately. So let's do that. We're not playing Deviform this time, apparently. Let's take as little damage as we can, which means we're taking 4. Judgment is our real way to win this battle. We don't need our Expunger here. The Expunger isn't bad, but we don't need it. So let's play Cut Through Fate to hurt you. Let's discard that because I want to draw. And there's a Judgment right there, which we can draw this turn with a Cut Through Fate. So we draw that Judgment, we play that Judgment. Great, and we're set to judge this Jaw Worm as well. Or we could Conjure Blade it. Actually, both work really well. Let's get a Conjure Blade ready, an Expunger ready. We could have also meditated. I had so many ways to solve that one turn that I just picked one of them at random, kind of. Don't really want these cards. Skip. The Courier. The merchant restocks cards, relics, and potions. All prices are reduced by 20%. Would be nice if we had more money. We can buy potions. You know what? I don't really care to buy potions right now. I like my potions. Let's leave. She punched me. Rude. The Maw. Alright, so the Maw is a pretty interesting opponent. I think this is one that we do play Deviform. So 30 damage this turn. Ooh, 30 damage this turn and there's not much we can do. Unfortunately, our intangible turn is next turn. I guess what we play is Perseverance to take 5 less, and then Miracle, Miracle, Miracle Expunger. I think that I want the Nirvana, but not the other two. So we are going to play the Expunger. Let's play Eruption first, of course. So, Cut Through Fate, get me an Eruption. Let's play an Expunger, and then a Cut Through Fate. We see Judgment, Cut Through Fate, Perseverance. I really just want another Expunger. Let's stay in Wrath and wait for that Expunger. Don't really care about those, and we play our Expunger. We have almost expunged the beast. Don't really care about these cards, let's skip them. So this is a time that I'm going to click Recall, so that I remember to click Recall. Lose all gold, obtain a relic. So the relic we would obtain is not bad. But I don't think it's worth all of my gold, especially when we have the Courier. So let's leave the Tomb of the Lord Red Mask. The Transient. Transient... My deck is not amazing against the Transient, but I do have a lot of Cut Through Fates. I think we just don't play... We play Conjure Blade, but we don't play the Expunger very often. I think that's the way. So we start with Eruption and a Cut Through Fate. And we certainly do not want those. Let's discard all 3 of those. Ooh, not great. We're taking 14. We could reduce that to 7 with Perseverance. It's better than playing Conjure Blade. So what we really need is lots of Cut-Through Fates. And we don't want those cards particularly. So let's play Nirvana. That'll allow us to gain block. And then Cut-Through Fate. Discard both of those. And then what? The Judgment is always bad. Conjured Blade isn't terrible this turn, so I guess we'll draw it. With a Cut-Through Fate, of course. Do we play Conjure Blade this turn? We do, because we already are blocking fully. So we play Conjure Blade this turn. With the Miracles, play Conjure Blade. Great. Now we're fine. We took some damage in this battle, but now we should be fine. Let's always discard the Meditate. Always play Expunger. Play as many Cut-Through Fates as possible. Actually, let's play Nirvana because we already have the damage down to 0. Alright, how much do I want that Meditate? Don't really want the Meditate. Although I could have kept it there to gain a little bit more block, actually, now that I think of it. But we don't need more block, clearly. Let's deal a lot of damage. And by a lot of damage, I do mean a lot of damage. Cut-Through Fate on top is fine. We are intangible this turn, which makes it kind of unimportant what we do here. To the point that maybe I shouldn't worry about playing these cards. Alright, Stance Potion I don't think is what we need for this deck, so let's skip it. Add a card, don't really care about those cards, so let's skip those too. And this rest site, do we lift or do we smith? I think we lift again. And no, I'm not considering resting. Let's lift. Alright, so we've never had more than 12 cards in our deck. If we win this battle, we beat the challenge and set a new personal best. I want to play the Nirvanas, by the way. It might be foolish to play the Nirvanas. I also acknowledge that. On the very first turn, oh man. Every time we play Nirvana, you will gain more strength. But every time we play Nirvana, we will gain more and more block every time we scry. Let's play the Nirvanas. And then Cut-Through Fate. So if I dip one of these below 40, then we can defeat it with that one card that I'm having a hard time remembering, the Judgment card. Judgment. Let's hit you under that too and gain more block. Great, so we don't want Judgment this turn, but we do want it next turn. Alright, we're taking 8 damage. But now we should have a very good mechanism for gaining block. I want that Deva form this turn, and I do not want to enter Wrath. So let's judge one of you. Let's Cut-Through Fate you. This will give us block. And then I think we play just one miracle, and we Deva form. Do we play another miracle and play a Cut Through Fate? I don't think we do. So we're taking 1 damage this turn. But now we've got our deck. Aside from the Conjure Blade, which we have not played yet, we'll play that in the best available chance we get. So we probably play Perseverance this turn. Actually, we can play Cut Through Fates over and over again. Alright, so here is what I've been thinking when we added Deva Form into the deck. Here's the actual outcome of doing that. We can play Cut Through Fate. We can discard this Cut Through Fate. There's only 2 Cut Through Fates in the discard pile, so we're guaranteed to draw a Cut Through Fate. Then we can play a Cut Through Fate. We're guaranteed to draw a Cut Through Fate. Every time that happens, we gain block because of the Scry. So we can just do that over and over and over again. Granted, now I'm going to play the Miracles and play the Conjure Blade. But we can basically get as much block as we have energy. And since we get more energy every turn, we can gain a lot. So we play a Cut Through Fate. Do we play Eruption this turn? I think we do. Eruption, Cut Through Fate. We may have made a mistake because we've got 2 cards. We need there to be 1 card. So we always draw a Cut Through Fate. We can gain enough block this turn by discarding this. That scries essentially twice, which gave us 18 block or 16 block, which is enough block. Now we can play Expunger. And let's meditate. So the Expunger wins this turn, I think. Yes. Expunger plus Judgment wins this turn. And then we can meditate, and we will have exactly our deck in our hand. So we've got exactly our deck in our hand. Now the main thing we're thinking about here is what we want Incense Burner to be at when we win. And we want it to be at 4. Because that will give us intangible on the second turn of the Shield and Spear fight, which is the best turn to have intangible in that fight. So we want Incense Burner to be at 4 by the end of this battle. It should be no problem at all for us to ensure that. Let's see here. So that did about half of the enemy's health. Let's not play Expunger again for a little while. I think that's what we've learned. So, play a Cut Through Fate. Play a Cut Through Fate. That draws me a Cut Through Fate. We need a little bit more block, so let's get that little bit more block. Now we play Meditate. So we always have our deck in our hand. We need 45 block again. So, Cut Through Fate? Cut Through Fate. Play another Cut Through Fate. We gain 8 block every time we do this, sometimes 16. So now we play Meditate, so we always have our deck in our hand. And Incense Burner is at 3, we want to win next turn. So this turn we just worry about blocking, which is that much. Alright. Forgot to add our deck to our hand. I should have played the Meditate. It's okay, because we've got Cut Through Fate, we can draw both of those cards. We only really need one, but let's draw both. There. Easy battle. So Gale says, the fact that you're sparing the Act 3 boss just to set up a slightly better Act 4 fight, what a deck. I mean, that's true, but that's also very typical of high-level play. Having the Act 3 boss be mainly a setup for the Act 4 boss once you get part way through is pretty normal. That's also pretty normal because once you get set up with a deck, often you can win any turn you want and take no more damage once you get set up. So since we had a deck that had that quality to it, it was pretty easy to say, now that we've set up, we're not going to take any more damage, let's make Act 4 better. Because the first couple turns of a fight are much more dangerous than the last 6 turns, usually. So making the first 2 turns of this fight better is important. Rosion, welcome. You're in for a good time. We've got a nice deck. So we certainly are not going to rest. I don't really see a reason to smith. The only reason I see to smith is to smith Devaform. We could lift instead. I think that we lift instead. Let's get the full lift. We have 3 strength. And then hopefully we can buy we could buy the prismatic shard. We do have a space in our deck. I don't care about any of these cards though. If we could add another Cut Through Fate, I would add another Cut Through Fate. But these cards I don't care about. We've certainly removed all that we want to remove. So let's take the prismatic shard for a little bit of fun in the 1 card reward that we're going to have. Alright, spent all of our money. It was fate. The fact that prismatic shard had exactly the amount of money that we had to take it. Alright, Spear and Shield. We do have the Incense Burner set up, so the second turn of this battle is not going to be too bad. It's the first turn that we need to take care of. And how do we take care of it? Start with the Cut Through Fate. We did get Nirvana Plus. I think that's important. We can almost completely block. We can almost completely block this turn. And drawing Deus Ex Machina right now is perfect. So let's draw it right now. Let's play the Perseverance. To almost fully block, we're going to take 1 damage. And then next turn we don't need to block, because we've got the Horn Cleat and we've got the Incense Burner. So this is a good turn to set things up. Don't want to draw that burn particularly. I am happy with the other 2 right there though. So this is a great turn for Conjure Blade. Or Devaform for that matter. I think we're going to not use the Devaform. Or, no, I've changed my mind. We're going to use the Devaform and we're going to use it because we want to set up the Incense Burner again for the heart. So we do play Devaform. And then we play Conjure Blade for 5. Great. We lost 1 focus. Haha. So that is a very weird benefit to taking Prismatic Shard. Because we took Prismatic Shard, and because we're modding, one of the only gameplay changes that the base mod adds is you get an orb slot when you take Prismatic Shard. But since we took Prismatic Shard, and we had that orb slot, the Spire Shield had a chance to reduce our focus instead of our strength, and it chose to reduce our focus by 1, which affects us not at all. So we were very, very lucky there, I guess. We got a weird benefit from taking Prismatic Shard. How interesting. So we should be able to essentially add as much block as we want. I would like to kill one of them. And we can kill one of them by doing Eruption Expunger. So, dead. Now, I don't want to kill you until Incense Burner is at 3 or 4. Is that right? Yeah, 3 or 4 is what we want. I'm going to choose to wait until 4. If we can handle it. That's another bit. So we don't want those two. What we want to do is play a Cut Through Fate. We're dealing a little bit too much damage with these Cut Through Fates, by the way. Play the Nirvana. Play the Cut Through Fate. Now we've got 16 block, which is all the block that we need. So now what we do is we discard something and we meditate. Now we'll have our entire deck in our hand, except for the fact that we added burns, which is really annoying. So can I wait another turn to defeat you? We do have the Perseverance, we do have some Cut-Through Fates. This draws me the burn. This draws me Cut-Through Fate, and then Cut-Through Fate, and now we've got enough block. So, at this point we have enough block, we win next turn. And let's do the Meditate again, so we have our entire deck in our hand. Great. Let's do a big expunger. Actually, no. Let's do Judgment. You have been judged, Spire Spear. Judged. We got Tori. Whenever you would receive 5 or less unblocked attack damage, reduce it to 1. Actually very nice in the heart battle. The times 15 attacks often deal more than 1 damage, and it's nice to reduce that to 1. You can save a lot of health. And we're not going to take that colorless potion. We do have a space in the deck. We could take Flex. Can also take Shrug It Off. It's interesting that we got 3 Ironclad cards as our choices. The Gale wants Flex Expunger. I think I could have predicted that, knowing Gale's preferences in this game. Alright, you know what, Gale? This one's for you. You get the Flex Expunger. Alright, final battle. I feel pretty good. We will immediately use our potions, so we get the Liquid Bronze and the Strength Potion. We are already up to 5 Strength, by the way. It's very nice to see a Deva form in our opening hand. We are going to take 1 damage. Oh, let's play the Entropic Brew, of course. Well, those are, the Energy Potion is nice, but the other 2 are minimally helpful. Let's use the Explosive Potion now. And play the Deva form. Don't see a reason to play anything else. This next turn we will have the Incense Burner give us Intangible. It was kind of the worst move for it to give us Intangible. We want the Intangible on the big hit, but you don't know when that is. So you just do what you can. Nirvana, that's basically our block solution. Now we've got Cut Through Fate, which can add block for us. I kind of don't want the Expunger now, but I would like the Deus Ex Machina now, so let's get that. And play the Slimed. Great. So the times 15 is going to hit our thorns and deal 3 damage back for each hit. That's 45 additional damage on the heart. Alright, 76. We don't want the expunger this turn. I don't know why the meditate is permanently right there, but we don't want the expunger this turn, and we don't actually want any of these cards, so let's discard all 3. So, I do want to play the wound. Let's play the wound. And then we play perseverance. It only gives 7 block. Not the best. Yeah, terrible hand. At least we get rid of both the void and the dazed. We could meditate 1 damage to get back Conjure Blade and Perseverance. I think that's perfect. Let's meditate. Conjure Blade and Perseverance. And we take 37 damage. It hurts. In some ways I want to draw that burn so we can get rid of it. So I think I'm going to keep the burn in the deck so that we draw the burn and get rid of it. So this turn is the big expunger turn. We play Miracle, 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 Conjure Blade. 12 times expunger. Seems like enough. And then next turn we really have to block, because that's a lot of damage coming in. Now granted, it looks like a lot more damage than it is. The Tori reduces all of those 4s to 1s. We could play the Flex Expunger, but I'd rather play multiple Cut-Through Fates. So let's discard both of those. We are going to play the Burn. Let's play the Cut-Through Fates because they add block. Should we play Eruption? We're going to end with Meditate, so there's no downside in playing Eruption. It also gives us more energy. And Expunger. Bam. Alright, so we reached the max. The Invincible effect on the heart means that we can deal no more damage this turn. Let's draw that. And what do we want? We don't want... Actually, we probably do want the Flex next turn. We don't want the Judgment next turn. And then we Perseverance and Meditate. We don't want the Judgment, we do want the Perseverance and the Cut-Through Fate. The Tori saved us a lot that time. We don't really care about the Judgment, but it's better to have it right here than not, because when we play Cut-Through Fate, we get to discard it, which means we get 2 of the Nirvana triggers, which is nice. I think we just want to do our Cut-Through Fate action this turn, so that we gain enough block. So Cut-Through Fate, discarding Judgment, Cut-Through Fate, drawing Cut-Through Fate, and then Cut-Through Fate, drawing Cut-Through Fate, and so on until we have enough block, which we already do. So since we have enough block, it's a good time to play Eruption Expunger. And then Cut-Through Fate. If we could win this turn, I would, but we can't. And then Meditate. Alright. Alright, there's the Flex. You know that we have to play the Flex, because we added it to the deck solely for this purpose, so that we could play Flex, Eruption, Expunger 36 12 times. Bam. Alright. And we win. We never win above 12 cards. We actually have exactly a 12 card deck at the end on Ascension 6 with the Watcher. The damage cap definitely made the flex less useful. The flex was actually... So, I added the flex for Gale, and I had no problem adding the flex. We definitely won that heart battle, no problem. But you saw that there was a few times where, even playing Meditate, I could only get back one less than my total number of cards in my deck. And that greatly reduced how much block I could gain by playing Cut Through Fates over and over again. So it was actually a really bad play to add flex to the deck, but it was a fun one, so we did it anyway. I mean, adding the Prismatic Shard was also ridiculous, but it was fun. Has it been done? I mean, in some ways it has, but I'm not done for the night. We are going to do one more. We're going to stay at Ascension level 6. And there's a very good reason why. So, we're going to play as the Silent for this next one. The main problem with the Silent, and we're staying in Ascension 6, the main problem with the Silent is that the Silent starts with a 12-card deck. So you can't add any cards at the beginning, which is very hard to deal with. So this challenge is the worst, at its worst, when you're playing as the Silent. Let's go. So we cannot choose a card to obtain, we cannot get a rare card, and although we could get a random boss relic, you know, actually, we can't, because if we got Curse of the Bell, it would add a curse to our deck, and I would disqualify the run. So our only choice here is max HP plus 7. And we desperately need to remove cards. So we're going to this shop so that we can remove a card as early as possible. The left side is terrible, no guarantee removes. So we kind of have to start here to have any real chance. I see Strike Strike on the left slime. Strike Strike on the left slime. Yeah, we're going to do a Strike Strike on that slime no matter what, so let's start there. Even though we could fully block it, no problem. We cannot block this. Fully, anyway. Get rid of the slimed right here, and we should win next turn. Pretty confident there's no way not to draw a win. We cannot add a card. We are very sad. We have to go here first and remove a card. So, we have to remove a card here. There's really no option. And I think we remove a Defend. I think we remove a Defend. Because at the very beginning, we really need those strikes. We could afford an outmaneuver. I think that's not a great one to add. Not this early, anyway. Outmaneuver is better in a small deck because you can play outmaneuver over and over again. Chain the outmaneuvers. But still, we really need something else that does damage. I think we play Defend, Strike, Strike here. because we need to defeat the cultist fast enough. Take 1 damage to defeat the cultist fast enough. We did not draw neutralize. We're going to play survivor no matter what. We're going to play a strike no matter what. And then here's the question. I think we defend. I think we don't need to take any more damage. Not with a neutralize this turn. So we're guaranteed to draw 2 strikes next turn, which means if we play 1 strike, we win. We got Essence of Steel. 4 plated armor is quite nice. I do like this potion. And of the things we could start with, I don't know that these are what we want. Yeah, I think we take nothing. And hope we have a better choice in the next battle. Alright, Jawworm. We will take 4 damage against you. Taking a lot of little bits of damage in these first couple fights. Terrible hand. Oh, wow. Terrible hand against the Jawworm, especially because we need the block this turn, and we did not get it. Very unlucky Jawworm fight so far. This is one of the things that can happen to the Silent early on, is a Jawworm can just deal you so much extra damage than you expect. Alright, do we play Infinite Blades? Or Slice for that matter. Don't really like these card choices either. Although it kind of feels like I need to choose one. So I've got a couple of choices. One is I could take none of these, go to the left, hope to get something better, and then upgrade it. Or I could choose one of these and go to the right and take an elite. Or I could choose one of these and go to the left anyway. I don't feel great against an elite right now. But I do want those extra question mark rooms, because they add the potential to remove cards. What do we want with this deck? So far we've gotten nothing. We could start with Infinite Blades. It's a start. It's just not a great start. But I don't think Slice or Bane are good starts either. Especially because either of those would give us 12 cards, so if we found something that worked with them, we couldn't even take it. I think we skip again. And then, do I go to an elite anyway? I don't think I do. So we go here, hope for something better. We've got to be really picky, but if you're too picky, you just get nothing. Also, I did not do the math to figure out that that was going to be exactly over half health, but I'm kind of glad it was. So, defend, strike. Take 1 more damage. Defeat this one this time. We've taken 1 damage in this fight, I think, total. We're going to take another one this turn. So that's 2 damage in this fight. We're taking little bits of damage, and I do not like that. We got a weak potion, and we did get Predator, which is a card that has a big number on it. I think that's good enough for me. Predator has a big number on it. And we can make that number bigger by smithing Predator. So Predator does 20 damage for 2 energy. We spot a loose brick. We could get Zap and store a card. You know? I don't mind a Zap. But what would we store? Is this worth it? I don't think this is worth it. Let's ignore it. Let's use that Zap in a future run that we care more about Zap. Alright, Lagavulin, not a good one to see. Not when we have no setup to speak of. Okay, well, this could be hard. I'm kind of tempted to do the colorless potion, which I think I will. We could do Swift Strike. Swift Strike is not a bad bit from the colorless potion. Let's do that. Predator means we draw 2 next turn and wake up Lagavulin. Hopefully one of those is Neutralize. It was not. We did not get the Neutralize. I feel like we have to play the Predator. So let's play the Predator and a Survivor. We're going to take 12 damage. That hurts. And then we do get neutralized this turn, which means we can fully block. Rather do that than the strikes. Siphon Soul hurts. It does hurt. We still get the Swift Strike. We certainly can't win this turn, so I think we just block for as much as we can. And hope to win next turn. I think we can, right? Predator does 19, Neutralize does 2, Strike does 5. Alright, we do. Took some damage there. Eternal Feather, actually not a very good relic when you can only have 12 cards in your deck. It's still fine. It still means that we heal 6 every time we enter a rest site, but it's never going to be more than 6. And we can't take a card. So let's move on. We have to go there, so we could potentially remove another card. Ho-ho, Toxic Egg. This is an excellent relic to get early. Whenever you add a skill into your deck, upgrade it. It's great to get that in the first chest. So do I go to a question mark or do I go to a rest site? The rest site I could upgrade Neutralize, which I do like. I do like that idea. Let's do that. Smith, Neutralize. We also got the passive heal, for that matter. And then we have to go to that shop. Predator could kill the Louse. Let's start there. Survivor blocks fully. We could do another Predator, but I don't think we need to take any damage here, so let's try to take no more damage here. Take no damage. We can continue taking no damage. Keeping the Slaver constantly weakened is nice. We partially get that because we get to play Neutralize a lot of times. Okay, we can't take any cards. I'm going to not even look this time. Look how I've grown. I've remembered not to look at cards that we can't take. So, We could remove a card and then add one of these two. Actually, we can only afford Piercing Wail. Let's remove a card. We're definitely doing that. I think we remove Defend. Do we add Piercing Wail? I really like Piercing Wail. I really do like Piercing Wail. I think we should remove a Defend and add a Piercing Wail. Maybe we remove a Strike and add a Piercing Wail. No, let's remove a Defend and add Piercing Wail. I could not take this to save my gold, but I really want a Piercing Wail, so let's take it. And now we need to remove cards again. So, Piercing Wail is pretty good here. We drew Predator and Neutralize. I should have known what this hand was, and since I should have known what this hand was, I should have not attacked the louse, because we're going to Predator the louse. Could have done better. But we've still taken no damage, it's just we could have more damage on the Jawworm than we do right now. Let's try not to take damage. Great, we don't take any damage this turn, and you're within striking distance. Strike. Can't take those cards, so we don't look at them. And let's hope very hard that this is a card remove event. It is not. It's a battle. How unfortunate. Battles are not great when you don't get to keep the spoils. And we don't get to keep the spoils. And we do get damaged. I guess we could have used the explosive potion to not get damage there, but it was a small damage. It was only 6. We can't take those cards, as much as I really do want them. Okay. I think we Smith Survivor, because we're not going to remove Survivor. But I'm not feeling great about this one so far. We really need to remove cards. Certainly we played Predator and Neutralize. I guess that turn played itself. But I thought about it anyway. So this turn, we try to not take the damage. And we can do Survivor, Defend. Do we need to play the Essence of Steel in this battle? I don't know the answer to that, and this is the turn where it would be good to know the answer. We might play the Explosive Potion in this battle. I think I'm not going to play the Essence of Steel. If we play Predator this turn, and don't play another attack, we should be able to do a lot of damage next turn, and split the slime at the smallest we can. You know, maybe we don't do anything this turn. So now we get to do Predator Neutralize. So we've got 50 damage, or 50 health slimes. Yeah, the deck limit affects the silent so much more because the silent starts with 12 cards, but also we were able to remove a lot more early last time than we were this time. And that has a pretty large effect as well. If I'm playing the explosive potion, this might be the turn to do it. No, doesn't have to be. Let's do the Predator and the Strike. The explosive potion still does well against those. Now what do? We certainly neutralize you. And I think we block as much as we can, which is not a whole lot, granted. We take 11. Oh man, when none of them are attacking me, I only get neutralize. How terrible. Let's keep you neutralized. So now we're getting attacked by all three of them. Predator can kill one of them along with the explosive potion. But do we survive? We might have to play one of our other potions to survive. I still think we do this. So now we're taking 21. A defend means that we've got 1 health left. Sure. We have 1 health left. Let's see how well we do. We're also getting a lot of trash in our deck. A lot of trash. We can't actually kill you this turn, which means we've got to play the Piercing Wail. We actually have to play the Essence of Steel or the Weak Potion. The Weak Potion is a much worse potion because we've got the weakness, the neutralize in our deck. We could very easily lose this. We have to play Piercing Wail. And let's play Essence of Steel. Should have played it earlier in the battle, if we had known. If we had but known. I think we strike this one. Alright. We luckily did not draw 5 slimes. That was a possibility. Let's do the Predator and get rid of one of the slimes. We get to neutralize you. And that splits you, which means we're not taking damage this turn. The Predator kills this one. Excellent. And we could draw Predator again. We did not, but we drew 3 strikes. Alright. Won that one at 1 health, but we did win. And we cannot add a card to our deck, so we skip it. Ectoplasm would be terrible, because we do really need the gold to guarantee that we can remove cards. The Philosopher's Stone is probably the most painful of the relics that give you 1 energy. Enemies starting with 1 strength is a lot of potential damage. So I guess we choose Black Star. I guess, unless Philosopher's Stone is better. I think we choose Black Star. And again, I do not feel good about this one. So this leads into a Burning Elite. Seems bad. Let's not go to that shop. This shop leads into a couple of question marks, which seems good. Also, we could go this way and use the Black Star to its full effect. Let's consider that. Can we go this way and use Black Star? only if we get a good card after we remove a card. Either way, we're going to start here and go to this shop. So we have to play Predator. Trying to think of how we win these battles, and it's hard, honestly. Honestly, every battle is a struggle. Do we play a Strike or Piercing Wail? Piercing Wail will do basically nothing this battle, except remove one of these artifact charges. I think we still play Piercing Wail. Okay, we've taken 1 damage. Can we avoid more? Probably not. Probably going to take a lot of damage. Let's block as much as we can. Take 11 more damage. Remove the last artifact charge. Take 8 more damage. Alright. We basically draw our Predator at the wrong time every single time. I think we need it this time, though. So we're going to play Survivor and then Predator instead of the Defend. Take 14 damage. It hurts. And then we can finally neutralize and add the Weakened. That's good. Oh man, that hurts. So Predator Strike does not win. So we're going to play the Fire Potion to finish this battle. Wow, that was painful. We got an attack potion, that's good at least. Can't take the card. Blake, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. So we can't take cards, we really must remove a card. As is the way. I think we remove a Strike. And at this point we really need something. Deflect is not it, by the way. We need something. Do I go Black Star Value Time? Black Star Value Time is very nice. It's just we might die. I think at this point in the run is dead unless we take high risk, high reward paths. So we're going to go to the left because I think we're doing so badly that we have to go the harder path. Sounds crazy, but it's the way. Let's go. We can drop one of the birds. The Piercing Wail is pretty good in this one. We only get to use it once, obviously. This might be a time to use the Weak Potion. Let's use the Weak Potion. I think of all of the battles, this might be the battle that Weak Potion is the best, because it's a multi-enemy fight. So we certainly neutralize you. Neutralize you. That means Survivor blocks. And then we deal more damage to you. The left one is dealing a lot more damage. So playing Defend blocks for 10. Playing Strike blocks for 12. So we're playing Strike, and we do take 11 damage. which puts us in a very dangerous position, obviously. We've been there the whole time. I think we must neutralize you. And then what? We could defend, strike. If we defend, strike, we take 4 damage. If we Predator and strike, we also take 4 damage. So I feel like we should Predator strike, therefore. Predator strike, take 4 damage. This is where Piercing Wail is quite nice, although we can strike you out of the sky. Never mind. The Piercing Wail will be used in this battle. Ooh, Predator kills you. Very nice. Maybe it will not be used. Okay. Well, at least we made it through this battle. It was a tough one, like they all have been. We got a Cunning Potion. Would have been great in that battle. So this is what has to be the card, right? We have one more chance. Do we need Backflip? It is a Backflip plus. Do we need Distraction? You know, these are really not the ways that you win. I need a way to win. And I don't think Backflip is it. Because we don't have the damage in the deck. If we had damage in the deck, I would take Backflip no problem. But we need damage. That's what we don't have. Alright, great time to open with Piercing Wail. And then next turn is going to be terrible. Let's be honest. We want to play Predator, but if we play Predator on the right one, we die very easily. So I guess we play Predator on the left one. And take 4 damage. I can survive this turn by playing all block cards. Let's do that. I'm being slowly whittled to death even on the risky path, by the way. We went the risky path because we thought it was the only path that could lead to victory, and we're dying before we even get to the risky part. Which is not great. I think here we have to use our potions. Let's use the attack potion first. What did that do for us? It didn't really do much. I guess we take all out attack, but I think we die? I can't imagine us surviving this turn. Yeah, we die. Alright, that was the Silent on Ascension 6. Died very early, had a terrible time trying to remove cards. And every time we needed to add a card to the deck, we really did not find the cards that we particularly needed at the time. Didn't feel like it anyway. So, there goes the Silent run, very quickly. Very quick death. But I will end it for tonight. We did set a new personal best. The new personal best was with the Watcher, Ascension 6. We beat the Corrupt Heart, never having more than 12 cards in our deck. And we did it with a Conjure Blade deck, which is not my norm. I consider Conjure Blade to be a very hard card to use, and not only did we have Conjure Blade, which gave us an expunger, we also had Deus Ex Machina, which, for those who don't know, give you miracles when you draw it, and Deva Form, which gives you energy every turn, and Judgment, which only works on enemies that are sufficiently weak. This was a very greedy deck. In a lot of ways, this was a greedy, greedy deck. But it did have not an infinite combo, but a way to get a ridiculous amount of block. If we played Deva Form, then we got more energy every turn. Played both our Nirvanas, meant that we gained 8 block every time we scry. And then every energy that we had, we could basically play Cut Through Fate, which would draw Cut Through Fate, which would draw Cut Through Fate. And we could essentially gain 8 or sometimes 16 block due to this relic right here whenever we played a Cut Through Fate. So we could get a ridiculous amount of block. We also even had the Prismatic Shard at the very end, which gave us a flex, because we needed to flex against the heart. Anyway, that's it for tonight. And for those that came, thanks for coming. And I will be doing more of this at some time. Hope to see you next time.